Hello, my name is Dušica, and it's my honor to be with you today and to present our Bioptron light therapy system. Marcel?
I'm a senior representative for Bioptron, and I'm also a global holistic bioeducator, and I feel very privileged to be actually a part of this movement in North America. Dušica, you actually have participated in opening up other countries. So your last country was Egypt.
Yes.
Yes.
I was honored to be in the team that opens from zero several countries, and it finally came time to start with Bioptron light therapy system in the North America, and especially in Canada. So let me tell you, Zepter International Canada is part of Zepter International. And Zepter International is multicultural company that has branches in more than 60 countries all over the world. Let me tell you why I love this company and why I'm in it for almost 26 years. Because Zepter is pushing us, is encouraging us to go toward a healthy lifestyle. And to support this mission, Zepter International has several brands, home art, home care, cosmetics, and medical brand, which is today our topic with its main product, Bioptron Light Therapy System. So Zepter International, which is important for you to know, has several factories in different countries, like in Switzerland, Italy, Germany. And so you will be able to have a product that is produced in our own company and delivered to your home or your clinic. So, okay, what is first thing that comes up to your mind when you say light? It's energy, it's life. Positive healing of light is well known even by ancient civilizations like the Greeks, Egyptians, and Arabs. So, and even the father of medicine, Hippocrates, said, honor the healing power of nature. So light is not something new that we talk about, but Zepter company is aware, and you will agree with me, that most of us today spend 95% of their time indoor, without natural light, in our offices, at home, in the malls and schools. The second thing, light is not like it used to be. We are more aware of negative effects and radiation of sunlight. And the third thing, in a country like Canada, we have so long periods without natural light or like this cloudy day. So all of this lead us to the fact that it's clinically proven that lack of light can be caused for serious health disorders. So, as we said, heliotherapy is something what is well known for a long time, but actually the father of modern light therapy, or the person who opened the door for light therapy in modern medicine, was the Dr. Finson, Niels Finson. He was treated skin tuberculosis, and by device capable to produce technically synthesize sunlight, which has a spectrum that is controllable. So for this work, Dr. Finson got a Nobel Prize in 1903. After that, in 1981, a Hungarian team with Marta Finyo created a light source that was originally based on laser therapy, but worked also with a combination on visible and infrared light. And she was concentrated also very much on polarized element of such light. Based on Dr. Finson's researches and Nobel Prize that he got, and this technology created by Martha Finson team, the Bioptron polarized light system was created. And in 1996, Bioptron AG Switzerland became part of the Doctor group and become also available here in North America and Canada. So,
Okay.
Can you add, Marcel, what you think about light?
Yeah, actually, so what we see here on our lower right-hand corner is what we have typically seen as the DNA. It's the perfect antenna. DNA is a great example of elegant intelligence of nature, one of the most miraculous, complex, beautiful entity of light that we will encounter in this lifetime. So on the left, what we see, and every time I see it, it gives me shivers because it's actually one of the most amazing single pictures we will see, and it's a cross-section of human DNA. It reveals 4 billion epigenetic light switches. So it reminds me somewhat of sacred geometry. And in the middle, we can actually see a skull. Yeah, it's quite revealing and pretty phenomenal. And this is what we want to do, is we want to educate. I would like to see children so they understand how miraculous, how special, what we call our mobile home, and it's based on, of course, the cells. And so this is at our very root. We're not just frequency beings, we are specifically light beings. So we've known for a long time that light was going to be a powerful modality and have profound effects, but it's only really now recently that we're realizing it with the technology that we now have. And so, yeah, we're seeing results that we find almost disbelievable. But anyways, if we can understand that at our core we are light beings, we can understand that the potential is there.
And here we should have you was participating in the
Yeah,
show.
basically this is just a video clip repeating pretty much what I just said. Yeah.
Okay.
Here, a lot of people are familiar with, chakras and auras and, things basically that man has had blind faith in for over 5,000 years is now being proven by science, whether it's Kirlian field photography, thermal imaging, electrointerstitial scanner, dark field microscopy blood analysis. So we see an image of a three-leafed plant here, and if we were to cut one of those leaves off, we would still see the outline of energy. So everything that lives basically is dependent upon light as the main source of energy. And there are some creatures that live in complete darkness and are able to somehow adapt and get their source of energy from other sources, but for the most part, we are dependent upon light. And so that brings up a very important point, that we know that light is important, air, water, food sources, but it's the right light. It's the right water. And speaking of water, we know that, for instance, restructured water actually has more light in it. Most people are completely unaware that water is not just a means for hydration, carrying energy and information, but it is also a vessel of light. And so is our food. Our food is also another source of light. So let's continue.
So light is light, light is energy.
It's absolutely necessary. So here we actually see, can we actually get this to? This is actually a ginger lily, and so this is before a Bioptron exposure, and then below is after. And it's almost hard to believe how organized and how coherent the aftershot is after being exposed to the polarized light therapy.
Excellent. So, when I mentioned that Bioptron that Zephyr is present in more than 60 countries all over the world, why it was important for us? Because Bioptron is a device that is clinically tested and certified in Europe as well as in North America. In Europe, we have these certificates, different certificates. The most important is that it's in compliance with Directive 9342 for quality management. But for us, it's even more important that in North America, Bioptron is certified by FDA 510K for clearance for pain, and as well as by Health Canada as a medical device. By FDA is in the USA is certified as a cosmetic device, and in Canada is certified by Health Canada as a medical device for pain treatment and wound healing. And as
that was 5 years ago, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Even 5 years ago.
So even before you came to Canada, to North America. Yeah. So you did. The company did their homework.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because we know that here will be the excellent acceptance of this product. So Bioptron is certified as, it's good that you know, as a Class C, a Class 2 device, medical device. That means that it's not harmful a device for us.
And in Europe, right, they're able to actually make more claims than the two that we do in Canada because they have a much better understanding and have had 30 years worth of experience.
Yeah. Although Bioptron is relatively new in Zephyr International Canada, this experience that has in Europe and in Middle East and other areas, it's so precious for us. And therefore, but even when we say that it's certified for health, for wound healing and pain treatment, it means a lot because there is so much indications medical covered by this. What we are also very proud is that in Paris 2014, Bioptron became a winner of anti-aging beauty trophy at second European Aesthetic Anti-Aging Medicine Congress. We got the prize as the best energy device, and since then we are also more and more concentrated regarding anti-aging treatment.
I'm actually quite impressed by this trophy, because Europe has how many frequency devices now? Could be literally hundreds, if not thousands, of different frequency devices, and this was actually number one in 2014. Yeah.
So what is Bioptron? It is patented, clinically tested, proven, certified, Swiss-made light therapy device. It's safe device, effective medical treatment with wide range of applications for your health, beauty, and well-being. It's used not only for treatment of different disorders or problems, but also for prevention, which is very important, and for rehabilitation. There is no known side effects, and it can be used by home users as well as by professionals.
Right. So this has been used in hospitals for quite some time.
Yes.
And I love the fact that it's safe. A lot of these light technologies, we have to wear special lenses. We need, specifically people that are maybe from the medical field, are certified in order to operate them. And with this technology, it's perfectly safe. Literally, it's good for the eyes. You know, it's not a situation that we need to be worried about. And yeah, it's I'd have to say the most non-intrusive, safe, fast form of technology for improving your overall health that I've seen so far.
So let me explain what are the main features of this device that makes this device so special and effective. So first point is that Bioptron light is linear polarized light. That means the source of the light is the halogen bulb, and like any source of light, it spreads light in all directions. But by passing through a browser mirror, special optical device, we have 95% of polarization. Why this is important for us? This is important for the optimal penetration of the skin and tissue, and therefore for very important for healing process. The second very important characteristic is that Bioptron light is polychromatic light. If we know that, so Bioptron light is medical light therapy device with a specific optical unit, medical lens, that emitting the light similar to a part of the electromagnetic spectrum produced by sunlight, naturally by sunlight, but without UV. So what I use as a
So without the harmful effects of light.
Sunlight, but without
right.
UV.
So we basically have four characteristics of the Bioptron polarized light. But you know, I say that those technologies, whether it's an air purifier, a water purifier, or a light, those which best mimic nature, right? But also, it's not only mimicking nature, because actually this happens. This occurs when the sunlight shines on water and the sun continues to change its angle. We also see similar effects when we see a rainbow after a rainstorm. So those technologies which best mimic nature and utilize science to bring to us those particular aspects that we need when we are, like you say previously, for prevention, for treatment, and also for speeding recovery. This technology has accomplished more so than previous light technology. So you've now explained the aspect of polarized light, and now you're talking about polychromatic.
And if you take into consideration the different tissues and cells in our body have unique light absorption characteristics or optical properties, which determine which wavelengths of light will be absorbed to produce a given therapeutic effect. That means that each cell which absorbs light at specific wavelengths. If we know this, then if Bioptron offers a spectrum between 480 and 3,400 nanometers, which is visible spectrum and part of infrared spectrum, but without UV. And if we can see here that different parts of the spectrum have different penetration and frequency, then we can see that Bioptron is offered to our body and our cells like such a
wider range as opposed to a lot of technologies.
To choose the frequency that is the most beneficial.
Exactly, and so a lot of technologies would just use red or blue light, and I know one technology that I have that uses 480 nanometers, but this is the full range from 480 nanometers right through to 3,400.
Yes, and here is maybe also a slide that can explain better how this yellow, we call it medical light, can be so powerful, because it's already consists all this spectrum of different colors and different frequencies. And we know that here in the picture you can see that different parts of the spectrum can trigger different reactions in our body.
And I just wanted to mention that for people that really want to get a good understanding of this, look to Dr. Fritz Albert Popp, his work. And it's interesting that, Einstein said that frequency trumps chemistry and frequency is everything. But in actual fact, it's light itself that actually triggers chemical reactions.
Yes.
And so we see from 400 to 600 nanometers that triggers melatonin
which
production.
Is important for seasonal disorder.
Right, and so each frequency has its own specific trigger.
Yes, so we can see antibacterial effect, hormonal balance, anti-inflammatory effect, local microcirculation, oxygen production. We have, for example, which will be important for us, the promotion of ATP.
And triphosphate, which is the rocket fuel, right?
Yes. So this is how this slide is very important to show for professionals or even for home users to understand the strength of this light and why it's so specific. The third characteristic of Bioptron light is that it is incoherent out.
And we'll start by saying, when we hear incoherent, normally it's not a good thing. But in this situation, we want it to be incoherent, and the reason why is because if it was coherent, the light would be too strong and we could look at possible harm effects. But you're going to explain why incoherent in this case is good.
Here you can find in the upper part of the slide, you can see comparison between laser therapy and Bioptron light. Laser therapy has coherent or in-phase light, and each of these waves is travel in the same pattern. That means the energy of each wave is combined. So when light penetrates the skin, it penetrates very intensively, and there is always possibilities for harming the tissue. Therefore, laser therapy needs to be used only by professionals. And Bioptron light is incoherent light or off-phase light. That means each wave penetrates softly the skin, which is very important that we can proudly say that it's a safe light, that there is no known side effect. So there is no risk of damaging tissue. Therefore, Bioptron can be used by professionals as well as by home users. And the fourth characteristic is that Bioptron light is low energy light, and it's proven that low energy is very important for healing process.
Right, so we have a saying too when it comes to frequency devices, less is more and more is less. And so let's recap now the four characteristics of the Bioptron light.
Just to mention that low energy light, that means that you use the Bioptron on proper way and very simple way, 90 degrees from treatment area at the distance of approximately 10 centimeters, you will get a safe dose of light, which is 2.4 joules per square centimeter per minute. And this is important that there is it will give you even this soft heat that is only 37 degrees, which is just 1 degree more than what should be our normal temperature.
It's like being on the nicest beach, getting this warm glow of the sun without any negative effects, no burn.
So as well as you treat, as long as you do the treatment, this temperature will not increase, energy will not increase. So as Marcel said, here you can see one of our devices. So we have the source of the light, that is halogen light. We have browser mirror that give us polarized, 95% polarized light. We have safety glass filter for dust. We have UV blocker. And then we have Bioptron medical lens. It is a special optical unit that give us this full spectrum of the light. That is so important. And I wish as Marcel said, there is so many light therapy systems, but the question is, can these systems give you this synthesis of these four features that give Bioptron offers: to be polarized, polychromatic, incoherent, and low energy light. Now, the way how I like, the simplest way how I like to explain the Bioptron is, after explanation of the Bioptron features, is to talk about Bioptron mechanisms, or how Bioptron work, or how what benefits are for Bioptron. When you know this, then you can apply it for such a wide range of applications.
Yes, actually, a lot of people say, well, will it work for this situation or that situation? And what does it work for? Basically, I tell them it's a lot easier to say, well, what doesn't it work for? Because if we understand that, again, going back to that, aspect that we are essentially light beings, then, this having such a profound effect on the cells, and that no chemical reaction happens without being triggered by light, whether it's metabolism, whether it's uptake of nutrients, also the potassium, calcium channels in terms of the nutrients getting in, waste getting out. This is the absolute essential, aspect that we have to have in order to maintain our overall health and well-being.
Yes, and Bioptron actually starts from working on cellular level, and has direct effects on mitochondria and energizing the cell. As we mentioned previous, there is a certain part of spectrum that has effect on production of ATP factors, molecules that storage the energy. This infrared part of the spectrum has positive effects on cell membrane and opening these ionic channels of cell membrane. Automatically, you know which this means. This means proper oxygen intake, proper nourishment, and proper releasing the toxins. So when cell is tired, it has like this shape, because it's blocked and it's tired.
Right.
But when these channels are opened and cell is energized, then cell has a proper shape, And this is, for example, important for wrinkles, for fine lines, for so many.
Every aspect.
Yes. Yeah. And what is also very important, once when we treat, penetration of Bioptron is only 2.5 centimeters. So usually people ask how I can treat my internal organs if penetration is only 2.5 centimeters. The answer is that when we treat certain area, the blood that is now energized, full of cells that are energized and with oxygen.
So if we're shining the light on our hand or on our face,
thanks to blood circulation,
the blood moves, right? Yeah, so it doesn't just stay in one area, right? So it's not just localized, it's also systemic.
Yes. So the other mechanism that how Bioptron works is that it promotes the microcirculation, which is important so much. For example, if you have strain, if you have stiffness in your neck, it's release this and release the pain. Just the supply of oxygen and nourishment to all parts of the body is so important for prevention. There are so many problems. And what you would like add regarding the microcirculation?
Microcirculation, I mean, we know that PEMF, pulsating electromagnetic energy fields, helps to promote microcirculation. And we're working with a company that boasts a 30% increase in microcirculation, which is profound. But I was happy to hear, I was hoping to hear that, Bioptron, polarized light, would increase microcirculation, maybe 10, maybe 15%. But we found out that after 2 minutes, it increases, and for a period of exposure of 30 minutes, it increases it to an unheard of 47%. So basically what that's doing is it's boosting all of the innate abilities of the human cell, which we wouldn't have time to list. And so it's optimizing, again, whether it's, prevention, treatment, or recovery. Yeah.
And they can find in this article this information, yes, on our new website, bioptron.com.
Yes, and it's not just this article on microcirculation, but there's some fantastic articles as well on anti-aging, on pain, and the immune system,
which we will mention later on. So we mentioned the increase of cellular energy and activity. We mentioned increase of microcirculation and cell biostimulation. But Bioptron also has positive effects on that reinforce body defense system, immune system. How it happened? It has increased the process of phagocytosis and stimulates the macrophages, that natural killer cells. And I will explain all this step by step when we come to the certain indications. So the next mechanism, how Bioptron works, that stimulates regenerative and reparative processes. That means, for example, production of stimulates fibroblasts to produce, to synthesize collagen and elastin, which is so important for building the
This is it. A lot of people say, well, what about my knees? What about my bones? It's a little hard for people to understand that light isn't just a surface. It has profound effects to the point of it's going to affect not just where you're shining the light on, but the entire organism.
Yeah. And Bioptron, which is personally for me very important, is effect of Bioptron regarding pain. Pain is not necessarily our enemy. It can alarm to us that something is wrong.
Well, it's like driving a car. When the red light is shining, you could put a piece of tape over it, but it probably wouldn't be a good idea. Yes. So it's an indicator that your body's trying to talk to you, that there is a situation that you need to pay close attention to.
Yes, but pain is not necessary to be the part of our daily life. And ability to avoid or to decrease using the drugs, painkillers that always had side effects, it's so important for me. So, and pain is part of so many indications. Like, for example, we have a lot of patients that have arthritis. So arthritis can be healed, but minimum for these patients, we offer solution to reduce these painkillers, to reduce the pain, to reduce the inflammation and swelling, to improve mobility, to have better sleep, to change their life.
Improve the quality of life. Worldwide, the two largest health complaints are, number one, lack of energy, and number two, pain. And so we're addressing those issues plus much more.
Yes. So how Bioptron can have effects regarding pain? First, we said by improving local blood circulation, we can reduce the muscle spasm and reduce the pain. Then Bioptron has direct effect on reducing the releasing the chemicals that had
again the trigger for all chemical reactions.
Yes, and Bioptron also has direct effect on nerves.
There's a lot of people with neuropathy problems, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and
but what is important, that Bioptron enhance the production of endorphin, which is natural pain killer.
Yeah.
So also one of the mechanisms how Bioptron works is that Bioptron reduce the swelling and inflammation. So, which is also part of so many indications. By its function by increasing the improves the drainage into lymphatic system, which reduce the tissue swelling and also reduce the inflammation and reduce the pain. Bioptron also has the effect on reducing the production of melatonin, which is very important when we wish to fight the seasonal affective disorder.
Yes.
So here I mentioned just some of the main mechanisms how Bioptron works, and only synergy. So it's not just one mechanism. It's the synergy of this benefits that Bioptron offers that can make this device almost magical.
Yeah, so it's not a drug, where it stimulates specific reactions. It's actually mobilizing and energizing every aspect of the of the organ system to again prevent, treat, and recovery.
Yes. And when we think about this mechanism, then we can apply it to so many medical conditions. And again, to repeat, that Bioptron is clinically tested, proven, certified for medical treatment of broad range of medical conditions that covers pain, wounds, dermatological disorders and skin problems, and seasonal affective disorders. So when we think about pain treatment, then we can see that Bioptron can be implemented in different fields, like in rheumatology, especially for arthritis. This is the most common what I'm facing from our home users.
And lower back pain is pretty popular.
In physiotherapy, between lower back pain, neck pain, we are so much connected to in front of computer. Also carpenter tunnel can be the problem. Also the scar tissue. And what is the beauty of Bioptron, that it can be used as a, by itself as a treatment, as a mono device, mono treatment, or it can be used as a complementary treatment to add the value to something, to practitioners who already has its own practice.
A lot of homes, actually, from what I understand in Europe, use both PEMF and polarized light therapy in combination, and they do it as a preventative. They don't actually have to have a health problem with their family, but actually look at it as a preventative in terms of the quality of life.
So as well, in Europe, I know that a lot of it's a huge implementation of Bioptron in the field of sports medicine. And Bioptron was even sponsor of Sergei Bubka,
and or even Canadian
and
hockey
team,
and
the Canadian hockey team. So we are also supporting by our Bioptron light therapy system. So also, so this is regarding the pain, and you can see that it's a wide range of medical conditions that can be treated by Bioptron.
And then the extreme athletes, the equine, the horses. So yes, so it's good not only for humans, but of course having great success with animals as well.
We'll come to it. So we will come now to some indications, and to maybe difficult to look.
It's important to make the point, right? A picture is worth 1,000 words, and when you've got such results, it really helps people understand the potential of this therapy.
Yes, and regarding wound healing, we here have mentioned venous leg ulcer, we have burns, we have after surgery conditions. It's shown here that after first day, after 2 weeks, and after 3 months of treatment, probably just once time per day in the duration of 20 minutes.
I understand that in Ontario we have over 2,000 amputations every year.
What this will be meant for the people to prevent amputation and further complications.
Mm-hmm.
So we can see that even after 3 months, the skin elasticity and the color and what happened with the leg and how become healthier after such condition. And what is very important that Bioptron is shortening the time, shortening the healing process. That means it prevents the complication and further infections, and so this is very important point regarding Bioptron. And here we can see the effect of Bioptron regarding softening the scar tissue. And so Bioptron after surgery should be used to reduce the pain, to reduce the swelling, inflammation, and to soften the scar tissue.
And they use this in Europe, in the hospitals, right? Before and after.
Especially now when Bioptron can be used as a complementary treatment with so much this anti-aging procedures and surgery procedures. Here is one case study that we prepared. It's Barcelona.
And this gentleman is 80 years old. So, you know, people have this opinion that when you get older, you know, your opportunity for healing is going to take a lot longer, and in some cases is considered impossible. But yeah.
And you can imagine that it will be very difficult to remove this tumor by surgery because it's deep. Treatment duration for this 80 years old patient was only 12 weeks and once per day for 20 minutes. And let's see results. So we have a building of spread, and then it was more and more easier to remove. It's a little bit difficult, but it's important that we come to this situation where we have the normal, forming the normal epithel and recovering and reducing the scar tissue. So from this situation, we come to the almost no scar situation.
It's pretty incredible. So it's assisting the body's ability to identify self and non-self, and to, you know, put in place all the body systems to bring it back to balance.
Yes, and this is the beauty of Bioptron, to encourage natural healing abilities of our organism to heal itself. So here is the other case, which is also very important to say that this person lived for 37 years with
just every day of his life.
Yes.
Yeah, for that period of time.
So again, this ulcer was 10 centimeters diameter and 37 years old. Patient, yes,
63.
I'm talking about ulcer,
right. Yeah.
But patient was again older, 63 years. And therapy was for 5 months, 3 times a week, even not daily, 3 times a week for 20 minutes.
I've heard how some people actually have some pretty impressive results, even just doing it twice a week. And we understand that one session, the lasting effects in the body are anywhere from 14 to 24 hours.
Which is amazing, yes. So he was treated by Bioptron Light, and we have results within 5 months. So it's amazing, isn't it?
And eventually, of course, you'd have complete closure. Yeah.
Yes. So the point is, for us, is to show, first, it's important to work on prevention, not to come to such situation.
Yes, to pay attention to that red warning light on the dash of the car.
To improve the microcirculation, proper nourishment, proper oxygen to all parts of the body, building the immune system. So this is important to prevent to come to this. And still, Bioptron is giving us hope that we can solve
and actually hope in situations that were thought to be hopeless.
Yes. Yeah. And if Bioptron can help for such difficult situations, then what can be done for normal
simple
daily.
cosmetic, you know, pimples, blemishes, eczema, psoriasis, you know, scars, wrinkles, varicose veins,
For daily use.
age spots.
Yes. Now here is a few slides that explain the process of wound healing. I know that within our audience we have professionals as well as we have home users that don't have medical background, but I will try just shortly to explain the process of wound healing and the strength of Bioptron. So we have four stages of wound healing. So in the first stage, it's important that there is a rush of blood, and there is we have how to say it's important to form the clot and to initiate the wound repair. In the second stage of inflammation, we have the main cells are macrophages that they are how to say immunological cells.
Right. So they're taking care of the bacteria, the pathogens.
Yes. So they have here the main function to reduce this inflammation, to clean the area, as well as so they digest the antibodies and all the pathogen factors and like this. So clean the area. As well, that function of macrophages is to release the chemicals that attract the other cells who has also function in the healing. So it attracts the fibroblasts that has main function in fibroblast is the synthesis of collagen and elastin, and
the
we know that
process.
collagen is very important to increase the strength of the wound, to hold the wound closed, and as well to build new tissues and to help recovery. So here we can see that without Bioptron irradiation, macrophages produce this less amount of these chemicals that attract the fibroblast, and we have the less production, less fibroblast involved, and less synthesis of collagen factor. And when we have irradiation with Bioptron light therapy, it's increased the number.
Okay, so it's basically the light is stimulating the natural processes to increase the overall recovery rate.
Yes, which is not important just for wound healing, but in general and implement for our immune system, building our immune system. Also, we have here, which is important maybe for professionals, that Bioptron has positive effect of macrophages that release this production of IL-6, which is a very important chemical to regulate collagen accumulation and as well as other cells which are important for the process of wound healing. As well as we can see here that it increased the production of IgM, which is antibody that prevents bacterial infections. So this is the connected with the slides that we saw about the effect of Bioptron to faster the healing process, to prevent the potential infections, to reduce the inflammation, to encourage the natural potential of body for healing, and to help recover.
So it's working in so many ways. It's basically creating an environment so that there aren't as many factors, you know, blocking the process in terms of healing, the body healing itself, plus speeding up all the other natural processes for that to take place.
Yes. So here, let's go a little bit to less, if we can say less complicated cases. Or so we have Bioptron As we said, Bioptron is also certified for medical treatment of dermatological disorders and skin problems in children and adults. And here we can see that we have roses, and we have swelling, and we have also acne. So acne, psoriasis can be so common indications that need the proper treatment.
And it can literally scar you, some people for their entire lifetime if they have to go through their, early school years with, these problems.
Yeah. Yes, self-esteem and teenagers' problems. So, for example, for acne, how Bioptron can, this yellow medical light, how can help the process of healing from acne? Because this medical light already have this all spectrum of
right.
light.
So you were saying earlier about the blue light, creating that healthy environment for
yes.
that. Yeah.
It gives us
equal measures,
specific dose of blue and red light.
Right.
And now blue wavelength light has the benefits in killing the bacteria that cause the acne. And red wavelength has the effect on reducing the redness and inflammation, and in reducing the shrinking the glands that produce over excessive oil that clogs the pores. So this synergy of these two lights has positive effects. So in the process of healing and acne treatment, as I will mention later on, for treatment of acne and psoriasis can be used, for example, full spectrum of medical light, but we can also combine with additional option to use the only, for example, blue light. In case of psoriasis, we know that we can't solve the problem. Just there are so many factors.
And as we said earlier, we always start with full spectrum.
Yes.
And then we work on specific issues. Now with this technology, we're able to isolate the qualities of these different colors with the depth of, and also in the factors that they stimulate. So it's quite an amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
For example, blue color, we know that it's calming color.
Right.
So it helps regarding psoriasis, regarding reducing the irritation, itching, calming down. Of course, it should be all other elements regarding reducing the stress and proper nourishment involved for healing.
Right.
Now, let's talk now a little bit about beauty. And we are, as we said, proud that we won the prize for the best energy device on anti-aging conference.
Isn't it great that you can have a one technology, something that works so profoundly, for severe, acute, and chronic situations, while at the same time helping you to be the best, looking you that you can possibly be at the same time.
Yes.
Yeah.
We all would like to, by just 10 minutes of daily use of Bioptron light, we can have the fresh skin, energized skin,
while at the
feeling
same time
good.
increasing your immunity.
Yes.
Right? You
Yes.
know?
So Bioptron regarding skincare, as we said, has effect on microcirculation, proper nourishment, oxygen supply, cell has proper shape, Bioptron is boosting the collagen, so we have this reducing fine lines and wrinkles.
And when we're using skincare, we now have to be particular in terms of actually using better quality, because now the cells are going to uptake, absorb more readily into a different level, so now we have to mention to the quality of skincare as well.
Yes, unfortunately we still not have our physiological Zephyr cosmetics, but as you said, we can use other brands with high quality.
Until then.
And it's recommended to use first to use the Bioptron on clean skin, and then use the medical light. And medical light will prepare our skin to absorb better the cosmetics.
So it should be bare skin. A lot of people, that's one of the first questions they ask is, well, do I have to remove my clothing?
Yes, it should be on
Yeah.
bare skin. Now, and Marcel?
Yes, so we have here, this is recent, as you can see, February 2016 and September 2015. These are medical doctors in the field using this technology for anti-aging in places like Monaco and Europe. We've said before that, Europe is 20, 25 years ahead of North America in all aspects, including cosmetics and anti-aging. And so they're using this with great success.
So these articles could be found on our new website, Bioptron.com, and those are experts that already implemented Bioptron in their practice, and they wanted to share those experience with us.
Mm-hmm.
Bioptron can be used also by children and newborns. And I personally felt that Bioptron follow up my children since they were born, and their first rush, ear pain, teeth pain, tooth pain, and until they start to have the pain for growth, sports injury, and then they start to walk, until they have this teenagers acne that we mentioned,
right.
And so on. But here with the children, I feel that it's very important to build the proper immune system, that Bioptron can support you to do this.
And today we're being attacked from, every front, even things that people are not aware of in terms of even electromagnetic field toxicity. So it's important that we can have something like this that we can actually help to improve the immune system daily.
Yes, allergy, respiratory disease, or for example, sinus or asthma or common cold, it can be used. And in general, I wish to say now that regarding immune system, it's very much recommended daily use of Bioptron for 10 minutes in the area of chest bone. How we call this bone? Color.
Yeah, it's just like the little chicken bone.
Yes. And, or on the side of the neck. So for improving the immune system, daily use of, simple use of Bioptron. Now, when we become older, we also can suffer from seasonal affective disorders. And in previous slides, we mentioned that a certain part of the spectrum has influence in melatonin production. So seasonal affective disorders means that there is normally melatonin should drop, level of melatonin should drop in the morning because it's like sleeping, factor, and so, but in case of seasonal affective disorders, it doesn't go down, so we feel still sleepy with low energy, and we can't function properly. So the best treatment for SAD is exposure to the light, and this is what Bioptron can offer to us. And here we can see some comparison, that indoor light has 500 lux, outdoor light 5,000, midday summer sunlight 50,000, and the light intensity generated by Bioptron light is 10,000 lux and higher, which is which offer us great solutions for daily exposure for 15 to 20 minutes to the Bioptron light can solve the problem of seasonal affective disorders. So interesting. As much as we can suffer from different medical conditions, our pets can suffer too. So they also have the chakras, they also have,
different locations,
but they also have the frequency. But what I like about Bioptron and animals, I have, for example, cat that just naturally know when I open the light, she knows
Animals have
calm.
that instinctive quality, and they
Yes.
can they'll actually gravitate to what is good for them, and sometimes even children when they're young also the same. And the good thing about animals is that they don't stay up late at night, and they're not at Tim Hortons. They're doing more of what they should be doing, and so it actually works for them even a little faster. Yeah.
And they just know where to lay, and they just enjoy this soft heat and nice sound of Bioptron, and enjoy this energy and light, and they don't judge, you know. So children and animals are the best to use the Bioptron.
And we can see the difference whether you use thermal imaging. Actually, a friend of mine just bought a thermal imaging camera for $12,000, and so we're going to look at horses and animals and humans before the polarized light therapy and after, right? So yeah, you can use thermal imaging, electron-interstitial scanner, Kirlian field photography, dark field microscopy blood analysis. We can see a profound change at the cellular level each and every time. Even though you may say, you know what, I don't think I noticed anything. Well, health is accumulative. But if we look again at the cellular level, we'll see that there's a profound change every time. So it's cumulative. Yeah.
As well for Bioptron. Bioptron, one of characteristics of Bioptron is that it's very easy to use, which is important, you know. So it should be used on clean, yeah, and duration is usually from for the most common indication, it's from 4 to 10 minutes. It's recommended to be daily used, once per day or twice per day. And because we said it's for prevention, it's for healing and for rehabilitation.
And we all have busy lives, but if you can't eke out 4 to 10 minutes twice a day, maybe you should look at your life and you know, find somehow of getting that little bit of time for this profound exposure.
So also it should be used very simple,
90
degree above the treatment area at the distance of 10 centimeters.
It actually has a little guide which basically can
help us, yes,
to direct us. Yeah.
And we can just sit, relax, and enjoy the treatment. And the beauty is really simple. And I personally feel, as you said, when I use my Bioptron light, it's time for myself. It's also very relaxing, and you know, it's if I want to energize myself.
It's like being at the nicest beach, getting that warm, you know, fuzzy sensation without getting the burn, you know, and it's so recharging.
Yeah. So as you said, it's also very important that it's a short treatment. So as I said, in the most common indications for back, neck pain, or just refreshment or skincare, it's usually from 4 to 10 minutes treatment. Only in more complicated cases like what we saw, it can go up to 20 minutes. But again, short time of treatment is very important. And it's side effect free and economical treatment. So we offer, as a company, 3 devices. They have the same optical characteristics, but the difference is in the diameters, as well as practical implementation.
So you have the large Bioptron 2, which is used mostly in hospitals, and it's just a full spectrum light that has the largest lens at 15 centimeters. Then you have the Pro 1 at 11 centimeters. That's the most popular because you can do your entire face in one session. Whereas the Medall,
for this dermatological disorders that you want to cover bigger areas, for this case of ulcer, leg ulcer, venous ulcer, it's more practical. On long term, it's the best investment.
Right. Yeah. And the Medall, you can do your face, but it may take 4 or 5 times the amount of time.
Medall can also be practical for those who travel, who wants to have not to carry
comes in a really nice little case.
But to have always medol when they travel, when they go to conferences, when they want to refresh, as well for treatment smaller areas like joints, or headaches or.
For a teenager, this would be an amazing gift. And I think that once people realize how, incredible this technology is, they're going to want to be exposed to it sooner in their life.
Yes, but I wish to mention that from my experience, a lot of some customers start with medal. And how they start to use the Bioptron, they discover more and more benefits, So they wish to switch to Bioptron Pro 1 or they wish that they started with the bigger diameter.
Yeah, I actually have had people that were, figuring they were going to buy a medal, right, the smaller 5 centimeter, and without saying anything to them, in conversation, they just say, you know what, I'm going for the Pro 1. Yeah, because it's a matter of time. Yeah.
Yes. Now, let's make like summary of all this, what we talk about, that Bioptron is a patented, certified, clinically tested device. It has function to prevent, to treat the indications, and to increase recovery rate. It's Swiss-made product that's guaranteed. It's Swiss quality.
5 years,
and
right?
Yes, guaranteed 5 years. And it is produced in our own factory and coming from the factory to the home or to the clinic of our customers.
And I have to say, probably the standards in order to get that little red and white cross are probably the highest in Europe.
Yeah,
in terms of regulation.
The small things are important. And in our medical device, we have also, if you notice, we have the CAM, which is signed that is certified by, it's produced for Canadian market, not only regarding certification, but it's also important regarding this electricity standards.
Which is important for people using it in their home or even if they have a business, because if there is a fire and it's not certified, then the insurance company can waive the protection. Yeah.
So then, to continue, it's effective, economical treatment. What I mean economical, because you can, when you go to and have a therapy, it's just for yourself. But Bioptron, when it's become the family member, you never know, it can stay at home and you never know who can use it. So it's really economical. It's give solution for all families. Also, there is no known side effects. It's without UV. We have to highlight. It's easy to use and covers a wide range of applications in different fields, and as you said, it can be used as monotherapy or as a complementary treatment, used by home users or as practitioners because it's safe.
Yeah, people will, once they have it, they find so many uses for it. Yeah.
Okay, and here I always like to say Zepter always offers more. So one of our next presentation will be about the Bioptron color therapy. So when we removed the medical lens that give us the full spectrum, we can put the lens with specific color.
We were talking earlier about blue and red.
Yes, all spectrum that you can see, 7 colors. And color therapy can be used for pressure point, chakra treatment, or it can be used, as I mentioned before, in the combination with medical light.
This is the actual case that the medal comes in?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's really good for travel.
So color therapy is coming with medal and also as well with Pro 1.
Right.
But this will be topic on our next presentation of webinar. So, Marcel?
So we come to the end of our first Bioptron polarized light therapy presentation, and it's been an honor to learn more about this with you.
Thank you.
And I find that this has to be one of the most exciting things in the holistic health field at this time.
Yes.
So thank you for, inviting me and being part of this. And so I guess at this point, we're just going to ask if there's any questions. Other than that, please, go to Doc of Detox and also Bioptron website.com
for more information.
for more information.
If this, but we tried during presentation to answer almost all potential questions that can come.
I'm sure there'll be more that arise. So, thank
Thank
you.
you.